Thank you very much. I don't know who that was he was introducing, but thank you so much. That sounds really impressive. I hope one lives up to it. So here we are in the art school session, and full disclosure, we're not an art school. Actually, we're a place which is, I'm surrounded by engineers, scientists, biotech, satellite people, and I'm a little creative arts oasis in that space. But, here it is, Centre for Creative Arts and Technologies, Research, Development, Production. Also, education. So we're really a research centre, but the distinction between research, production, education, making, all that sort of stuff that universities like to compartmentalise, I find it difficult to separate, and so do my colleagues. So that's the first point. Let me just... sorry. Okay. Just about me. I don't really have to say much about me now with that introduction, but I will say that I've got a cat called Bronte who likes to hang out on the bookshelves, and that's hence the Sea Cat's title. She's my inspiration, and she reads a lot about emotion, performance, portrayal, and acting, and AI and stuff like that. And the other thing I do, we do a bit of photogrammetry, so there's a bit of photogrammetry of me. It makes me look really a lot younger than I am, but let's face it, I did a little bit of touch-up on the bags under the eyes. So that's what I've done before, but you don't need to know that because my friend, is it colleague? He just told us all about it. Right, the next is, so what is CCATS? What is the Centre for Creative Arts and Technologies? And there's some bullet points on the screen, so for those of you that don't understand my English, you can read it slowly. But it's basically between animation, digital, technology, film, music, live performance, interdisciplinarity, production, film, and all these things that we like to do. Like we like to make sure there's we're a creative catalyst that likes to apply new technologies and tools, particularly in moving image media, and there's research, development, production, and skills development. So there is education there in all those fields: film, animation, VFX, live and digital performance, games, interactive and immersion, mediatized theatre, and virtual production. So the next thing I'm going to say is just the context that I gave you a little hint at. I can't really see it here. Okay, so we have lots of pictures of what goes on at the University of Surrey, which is very close to London, 35 minutes. Do you know, I forgot to check my time when I started, so he's going to rush me.
7 minutes left.
7, good, okay, I'm 3 minutes, thank you. We have the Guildford School of Acting. It's a famous acting conservatoire, which is great. It's, again, in this sea of engineers, it's a wonderful thing to have performing arts. We have the Centre for Vision, Speech and Signal Processing, which is a bit of a mouthful, but they are heavy-duty propeller heads, and they really know their stuff. They've got this new thing for the Centre for People-Centered AI. The Institute for People-Centered AI is just being formed. I call it the Institute for AI-Centered People, but probably not in public, but I've just done that. So there you go. We also have this thing called the Digital Worlds Research Centre. So there's a lot of really sort of serious activity in the University of Surrey. And what we do is kind of less serious in a way, but hopefully entertaining and elucidating and all that stuff. So I want to show you a couple of example projects, if I may. What we're really interested in now is virtual production. Who's come across virtual production? Can someone wave? Do we know what virtual production is? Okay. Virtual production is where you use LED backwall screens to immerse live action in a virtual environment, and the live action and the virtual environments respond to where the camera moves. And it's all done with game engines and lighting and this sort of stuff. So we've done 3 projects. That was not shot on the moon. That was shot in the studio with a virtual backdrop, and some art direction foreground, same thing. This is more an illustrative thing. We've got cherry trees. And I'm going to show you a video which hopefully explains it better than me. Hopefully it works. At the University of Surrey, we're partnering with Target 3D and Digital Catapult to make this space come alive with some content. What we're really trying to do here is test things out. So we figured, well, let's put someone who looks great in front of the camera and can move in front of the camera. And so it became more than a camera test. It became a full-on dance music video production.
So I kind of started researching in the cherry tree idea, looking at forest nymphs for inspiration. I kind of looked at poems online to get some inspiration for the lyrics, and then came up with some chords, and the lyrics kind of followed on from that.
One of the challenges is foreground set design. Start actually making a floor and making some plants which matches a backdrop.
I work as an Unreal Engine environment artist, so I usually make the backgrounds that we see back here using the word dusk, so that's why we went for a dusk lighting, kind of golden hour, but also kind of this magic realism, so using more pinky sunset tones as well.
The idea of the project is that it's a kind of mystical fairy dance piece, and we're trying to create this virtual world where this dancer dances through these cherry blossom fields, these trees. And obviously it was kind of difficult to do that in real life, so we're using the virtual production stage to create this world and to create it in real time so that we don't have to do green screen compositing and kind of figure stuff out later, but actually do everything in camera on the day.
It's really cool to see how they can make anything real and how reality is placed into a space indoors. And it's very cool to see how they can change atmosphere, climate, temperature in just one little space. It's so different from outdoors, because outdoor you have to wait for the climate, you have to wait for the lighting, the setting, but here we don't really have to care about the environment, you can just make it.
It's about getting that integration with the technical team and the facilities team here with the creative teams and the creative crew. There's more, but you get the idea. I'm going to show you what the end result looks like, okay? So this should be the next little video, then I'll explain a little bit more.
Can't go forgotten. Your fingertips stained by your crimes. My kingdom is burned by your selfish desires. So enjoy your amaze one last time.
So those were all recent graduates from, there they all are. The trick is that the reason why we did a lot of that stuff is that it's very difficult to do gauze, transparent material in green screen. I'll show you this in a minute, and it's very difficult to do crazy hair. Slow motion, all that sort of stuff. So we're doing something in virtual production which is very difficult to do in green screen compositing. And you saw her walking behind the live action cherry tree. We got the cherry trees in the background. So you get the idea. There's links to that if people are interested. Now, another project, well, I've got a couple of minutes, I think, is called Reanimating Stanislavski. This one's very close to my heart. People know who Right, so there he is. That's Konstantin Stanislavski. And I'm asking the question, a research question, can an avatar act? So what I'm interested in doing is synthesizing emotion portrayal in a virtual character, using Stanislavski's acting system as the basis for the training, the AI training, the machine learning training. So what do? We take a lot of archive photography. He's not alive, obviously. All the photography is very old. And we try to create a character out of this dodgy black and white old archive photography. And then we try to get him to act. So it's 3D, 2D to 3D, 2D old to 3D. Lots of machine learning sort of techniques in the middle. And if you'll forgive his very, very bad Russian accent, this is something I just sort of threw together very, very quickly, because it's done sort of in real time. So let's just see if it works.
Меня зовут Константин Сергеевич Станиславский. My name is Konstantin Sergeyevich Stanislavski. I am honored to be with you at the ICEA 2022 conference here in Barcelona today. My purpose is to help Jon Weinbren introduce you to the Center for Creative Arts and Technologies at the University of Surrey in England.
Okay, and just being really fair about it, I think it's only fair to do it in Spanish. So forgive the AI translated Spanish, but let's just give it a go.
Mi nombre es Konstantin Sergeyevich Stanislavski. Me siento honrado de estar hoy con ustedes en la conferencia ISEA 2022 aquí en Barcelona. Mi propósito es ayudar a Jon Weinbren a presentarles el Centro de Artes y Tecnologías Creativas de la Universidad de Surrey en Inglaterra.
He was very pleased with himself for that, actually. And then, okay, so we do have a postgraduate program called Film Animation and Digital Arts. FADA, anyone? I'm sure there's plenty of people, Portuguese speakers here. And FADA, of course, means fairy. Right, there you go. This is just a very quick little reel of, it's a loop. There's lots more to it. So this is a lot of the work, the type of work that we do on it. Okay. And that's an old version of Stanislavski. He's more sort of black and white and more low res. And he moves around in a very creepy way. But and that's me, and that's the talk. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good.
And please,